Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. So as you guys know, we are going to be speaking about the Gabby Petito case today and Brian Laundrie's. Okay, so let's just jump right in. So as you guys know, Gabby's body was found near Wyoming's, Grand Teton National Park on September the 19th. Now, Utah Grand County Sheriff's Office released, of course, you guys already know, everybody's seen it, the call with the cops, August the 12th, they get pulled over. The witness calls in, somebody, a girl was slapped. That's been all over, so we obviously know. She was seen passed out alive. Let's see. Footage of the police body cam talking with both of them. Gabby was in tears. Cops make them separate for the night. Brian goes to a hotel. Gabby takes the van. Something I noticed on the body cam footage, I wanted to bring this up as well. She says, how far down the road is it? I don't usually drive the van. Keep in mind, people, this is her van, okay? Just something else to go along with the fact that I truly believe that Brian is absolutely a narcissist to the 10th degree. I think she was controlled, complete control in the relationship. I do believe that. She's taking the blame, as you guys saw in the footage, taking total blame. And he didn't mind saying, I don't remember seeing him talking about how, oh, well, yeah, I slapped her, and oh, none of that was said. It was, well, she was doing this and she was doing that, and I'm so sorry, it's me, it's all me. Let's see. I wanted to bring this up, September the 11th, as you guys know, the parents of Gabby report her missing. They've been calling Brian on the phone. I mean, I can't even imagine. So, your daughter goes on this trip. You're calling, after weeks of no contact. And then you start not only calling the boyfriend, you're calling the boyfriend's parents. Nobody's answering the phone. And so Gabby's parents did exactly what I would have done. I mean, honestly, at that point, I probably would have called a little sooner or went over there, whatever I had to do. But this is what I wanted to bring up in saying this. So they make the call. The cops are like, yeah, something about that just don't sound right, so let's go over there. And, of course, they get over there. Cops show up over there to speak to them. Brian's lawyered up. He's already lawyered up. The lawyer was waiting there. The attorney was waiting there to speak to them when the cops got there to even ask about the whereabouts of Gabby. So right from the word go, something about this just does not seem right to me. And I'm guessing you guys are thinking the same thing, because that's just kind of crazy. I wanted to bring up the lady that posted the video. You guys can look this up. She says, and keep in mind, this is August the 27th, 1 p.m. She says they sat right beside Brian and Gabby at the restaurant, and she was upset, yelling at her, and they were asked to leave. The lady said she was on the curb crying outside, and that Brian kept leaving and then going back in. So he'd go outside, he'd come back in, go outside, come back in. It says, in each time fighting with the waitress, and he was speaking to a manager, making a scene, and Gabby was like, finally, forget it. Like, just forget it. Let's go. From what I understand, witnesses said that, she was apologizing to the waitress, to the manager, oh, I'm so sorry. And which is something else. It seems that she's always apologizing for his actions, for his behavior. And I'm going to be honest, I was not going to give you guys my opinion about what I think may have transpired or any of that in this video, but after all the, evidence, everything we've been reading, I definitely am going to give my opinion at the end of this video, what I think happened, as well as the timeline that I believe that she might have been taken from us. So, let's see. My heart just breaks for what Gabby must have been going through. And my heart, honestly, it goes out to the parents. As a mother, I can't even begin to imagine. Let me just say here that the fact, by the time the police got to Brian's house, and he had already lawyered up, honey, and let me just tell you, guys, as someone who has an attorney in the family, the first thing, law 101, any attorney will tell you, rule number 1, shut up. Shut up. Don't speak. Say nothing, and that's exactly what Brian and his parents have done. It makes me mad that Gabby's parents want and deserve closure. And not only is Brian not talking, his parents aren't either. And I just cannot understand. I can't. I mean, I'm so sorry. That is so sick, and that is so messed up on so many levels. I mean, how would they feel if it was their child missing? They would want someone to talk to them. I just don't understand this. I'm sorry. That is so wrong. And it makes me wonder, like, where does Brian get this behavior from? Is this what Brian was used to seeing at his home? Is that what he was used to dealing with? Makes you wonder. I mean, allegedly, let me put that in there, he's slapping her. I mean, he learned that from somewhere, probably at a very young age. And why are his parents acting like everything is normal? I mean, the neighbors are saying that, they're cutting their lawn, they're riding their bikes, and Gabby lived with them, I mean, like, I can't imagine her living with us, being a part of our everyday life, and then suddenly she's missing, and we're just gonna, pack up and go on our trips and mow our yard and go bike riding like everything is completely normal. And let me also say some new evidence that has come to light. Remember, they left for the weekend, or they were gone for those days, and nobody knew where they were at in Florida. Well, it come to find out, they were meeting with the attorney after Brian's been reported missing. So you think your son's gotten, up there in that park, there's all kinds of snakes and gators, and that's the first place you go is to the attorney's office? I mean, why are you not out there with everybody else up and look for your son? I mean, you're so sure that he's there, right? Which, by the way, I'm calling BS. I have never believed that. And I don't think they did either. This was all a ruse. It was all to, keep them off the trail of Brian for the moment. And also, have you guys seen the interview with the neighbors who say after September the 1st, when Brian came back home and Gabby, they say allegedly, y'all know I gotta say that, allegedly, that they had all packed up and went on a trip for the weekend, including Brian. So neighbors said Brian too, and that dad got a new cover to cover up his truck bed, and that they went on a weekend trip. And then, of course, after that, the following Tuesday is when he supposedly, went up to this park and now is missing. Now he goes hiking, which that's something else. Who goes hiking when their fiance is missing? Like, that is so crazy. Let's see. Yeah, that's when the parents said that he went hiking. He went up there. Then he just didn't come home, allegedly. And then, of course, you guys know what happened after that, right? So he goes up there. His car's parked. He's missing. Allegedly, they drive up there, and instead of, I guess, looking for their son, they somehow have an extra key, hop in the vehicle, drive it back home, and then only 2 days later do they then call to report their son missing to the police. Does that make any sense? So you're going to go where you think there's alligators and snakes and your kid's missing, and the first thing you do is, oh, let me get his vehicle back home. I ain't going to worry about calling the cops. This is just all so crazy and so unbelievable. And like I said, I'm not buying. And this case really has been bothering me with Gabby. It just has really been bothering me. So now let's look at Brian's parents stayed on September the 14th after returning home without Gabby from their cross-country trip. We already know this. Gabby's cell, I wanted to bring this up to you guys, completely dead as of September the 1st. So the day that Brian returns home without her, her phone's just dead. That's it. Dead. Does that not seem odd to you guys? Because it does me. I mean, doesn't that seriously seem really strange? On August the 27th, message came in to Gabby's mom from Gabby's phone. Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his calls and voicemails. Which is odd, according to Gabby's mother, because she doesn't call her grandfather Stan. And this just seems really odd to me. It just really seems very odd. Something is so off about that. And I'm going to be honest, that date could be wrong because I think there was somewhere else that said it was like August the 30th. So don't hold me on that date. But also, I told you guys about the video, the couple at the restaurant that happened on August the 26th. On the 27th, Gabby is calling her grandfather by his first name. So my question is, on August the 26th, was that Gabby's last day? Because I'm going to be honest, I have my opinions. And I definitely think that something happened to her between the date of August the 27th, maybe later on that day, through August the 30th. And I say the 30th because remember, there's also the video out there where the lady states that they picked Brian up on the 30th. She was not with him. So, guys, this is my opinion. I believe this. And something else, speaking of those dates, I wanted to bring up. And I wanted to get to, which you guys know, yes, there was a warrant put on Brian for charges for him basically using someone's credit card that doesn't belong to him. So, and as you guys know, it's not been proven, yes, in court yet, but you guys know, right? That absolutely is going to come back as Gabby, right? It's Gabby's card that he was using. So, I'm trying to find this paper. Give me a second here. I just think that That seems odd, doesn't it? Your fiance's missing. You don't know where she is, but you're just gonna grab her money and take it out. And one video that I watched actually stated that there was someone that had seen, and I'm going to say allegedly, seen him pulling money off, which is how this all started. And they think that he knew exactly how much money was in there, and he was going around to different ATMs pulling it off, because it's almost like he knew he was going to go running or go into hiding. So, just seems very odd to me. Doesn't it to you guys? Yep. But I wanted to find that because I wanted to read to you guys. Exactly what was said on the warrant, because I had it wrote down. I'm trying to find it. I've got it right here, sorry. Okay, so federal arrest warrant issued for Brian Laundrie, indictment released Thursday. U.S. District of Wyoming accuses Brian of Capital One debit card and several accounts spending more than $1,000. Documents do not state who the card or accounts belong to, but since then it's came out because there was witnesses that basically confirmed, yes, it was her card that they were trying to use. Indictment charges Brian with unauthorized access of a device and states he used bank accounts without permission from August the 30th through September the 1st, which means that's the date that he was caught in there, and I'm sure they've got it on camera or something to that effect, that they've got absolute proof. They would have had to for those dates. And just let me make this clear. Brian has not been charged in Gabby's homicide, but he is named as a person of interest. Now, this is what I was getting to. So, basically, the lawyer decides to speak, and he basically is like, well, yes, as I understand, basically, not so many words, I don't want to quote him because I don't have that wrote down, but he basically states, well, it's my understanding, yes, you know, there is a warrant out for him, but it is related to the passing of Gabby or after. But so here's my thing. Yes, we know that the cops are considering it homicide, but nothing has come out about how she died or the dates that she died. So, Brian Laundrie's attorney, how is it that you know that this happened after she passed away? Unless you already absolutely know what's happened and you're protecting your client. I'm just saying, like, explain that to me. You're going to say it's after that, you know, I guess, but none of that's been proven. They didn't find her body till September the 14th. Nothing's been released as far as really, truly what's gone on, because we don't know. So how were you so certain that she was killed on or before August the 30th? I mean, come on, guys. Is that not, I mean, did he not just kind of tell on himself? And just let me say, allegedly. Something to think about. So, my opinion is, I think that August the 27th may have very well been her last day. I think they got in that argument at that restaurant. Brian, and this is all alleged, is a narcissist to the 10th degree, which tells you they never think that they're wrong. Never. They don't ever think they're wrong. It's everybody else. I think that must have infuriated him that she would go behind him and apologize to those people, right? Because he wasn't in the wrong. It was them, right? Right, according to Brian's way of thinking, allegedly. So I think that things transpired from there. I think from that argument, in that restaurant, I think it got worse. And I definitely believe that may have very well been her last day. And if not, I definitely believe it was before August the 30th. And we say August the 30th, another reason other than, the lady on the TikTok or YouTube, I can't remember if it's TikTok or YouTube, but that basically says, hey, we picked him up. He offered a couple $100, yada, yada. But also the fact that now they have some kind of evidence that on August the 30th, he was pulling money out. That was hers, allegedly. So they have that on camera that she was not with him on August the 30th, which tells me that between August the 27th, the last time she was seen in public, and August the 30th, she was no longer with us. That's my belief. That's what I think happened. And I think that Brian's parents absolutely know where he is. I think that I don't know why they're waiting. I don't know if they're waiting on the actual results to come out maybe of the autopsy. I'm not sure. But I absolutely believe, even the attorney, I believe possibly might know a little more than he's saying. But for Gabby and her family, they definitely deserve closure and for this to be solved and for someone to speak and tell them what happened. Oh, and let me just add, guys, before we go, that I'm sure you guys have heard by now, they've got Dog on the case. He is very, very good about catching people, as you know. And I just hope that for Gabby and her parents' sake, that this is all solved soon. And when we have some more evidence, whatever's going on, I will be doing videos, staying up to date on this case. I don't do videos on every single case that is, big or huge. And this is very dear to my heart. I am a mother. I can't imagine what they're going through, and I'm so sorry to you and your family of Gabby's. So I will keep you guys updated. Like this video, subscribe to this video. And until next time, guys,